Hello students, in the previous video I have discussed about the heart sound. In today's video I am going to describe about the ECG or electrocardiography. Now what is electrocardiography? It is a graphical representation of the electrical activity of the heart during a single cardiac cycle. The electrocardiogram is obtained by a machine known as electrocardiograph. The study of the process of recording of electrocardiogram is called electrocardiography. Einthoven in 1903, who is also known as the father of electrocardiography, has invented this process of electrocardiography. The impulse generated by the SA node causes the contraction and relaxation of the heart chambers. To obtain an ECG, a patient is connected to the machine with 3 electrical leads, one to each wrist and other to the left ankle. Monitoring the activity of the heart continuously and heart's function is evaluated by attaching multiple leads to the chest region. Now let's discuss about the reading of an ECG. An ECG consists of 5 peaks identified with the letter P to the letter T that corresponds to a specific electrical activity of the heart. Thus, what do these various alphabets imply for? Let's start with the P wave. It is the first and the foremost wave of the low amplitude. It represents the electrical excitation or depolarization of the atria, which leads to the contraction of both atria. Next comes the QRS complex or QRS wave. The letter Q, R and S, they together form the QRS complex. This represents the depolarization of the ventricles, which initiates the ventricular contraction. It marks the spread of the impulse from the AV node to the ventricles through the bundle of His and Purkinje fiber. The contraction starts shortly after the Q and marks the beginning of the systole. Next comes the T wave. It is a broad and smoothly rounded deflection which represents the return of the ventricles from excited state to the normal state. That is, the repolarization takes place. The end of the T wave marks the end of the systole. It has been observed that by counting the number of the QRS complexes that occur in the given time period, one can easily determine the rate of heartbeat of an individual. However, the deviation of the ECG of a person from the normal shape ECG indicates a possible abnormality or a disease. Now, what are the significance of ECG? ECG is proved to be great clinical significance due to the following reasons. The first reason is it gives an accurate information about the normal functioning of the atria and the ventricles. It also indicates the functioning of the valves of the heart. And thirdly, it also helps in indicating any damage to the local tissues of the heart in detection of overgrowth of cardiac chambers or heart chambers. Next, let's discuss about the disorders of the circulatory system. Many diseases may affect the blood vessels and the normal functioning of the heart. Some of the common disorders are mentioned here in this video. The first disorder is the high blood pressure, which is also known as hypertension. The pressure exerted by the flow of blood on the elastic walls of the artery is known as the blood pressure. Hypertension is the term used for the blood pressure higher than the normal. The normal blood pressure of the human being is measured as 120 to 80 millimeter of mercury. The upper 120 is the systolic pressure and the lower value, that is the 80 millimeter of mercury, is the diastolic pressure. The upper value is the pumping pressure and the lower value is the resting pressure of the heart. Persistent increase in the blood pressure above 140 millimeter of mercury and 90 millimeter of mercury, that is the diastolic pressure, is termed as hypertension. Now, what are the conditions of hypertension? It may lead to many heart diseases and also affect the vital organs of the body like the brain and the kidney. The next disorder here is the CAD or coronary artery disease. It is the hardening of the artery or the arterioles due to the thickening of the fibrous tissue and the consequent loss of the elasticity of these tissues. It is often referred to as atherosclerosis. This mainly affects the vessels or the blood vessels, which are mainly responsible for supplying blood to the heart muscles. It seems to occur due to the deposition of calcium, fat cholesterol, and fibrous tissue, making the lumen of the artery narrower. The third disorder mentioned here is angina pectoris or angina. This tends to occur when enough oxygen does not reach the heart muscles. It occurs both in men and women at any age, but seems to be more common among the middle aged and elderly people. A symptom of acute chest pain may occur in the individual suffering from angina, which mainly occur due to the conditions that affect the blood flow. The fourth disease mentioned here in the video is the heart failure. It is the condition of the heart when it fails to pump blood effectively to meet the needs of the body. The heart failure is sometimes called the congestive heart failure, as its main symptom is congestion of the lungs. The next disorder mentioned in the video is the cardiac arrest. It is a sudden, unexpected loss of the heart function, breathing, and consciousness. In cardiac arrest, the heart abruptly stops beating without prompt intervention. It can result in the person's death. The final disorder of the heart here described in this video is the bradycardia and the tachycardia. Tachycardia is the term applied to a heart disease of pulse rate over 100 per minute, and bradycardia is a term indicating the slow heart rate or the pulse rate under 50 per minute. So my dear students, it was all about today's topic. In the next video, I will discuss about the double circulation and the circulation through special regions of the body, that is the hepatic portal system and the hypophyseal portal system. Along with that, I will also discuss about the regulation of the cardiac activity, that is the hormonal and the neural regulation. Stay tuned with me and watch the videos. Thanks for watching this video. Take care. Bye.